Hi everyone, I'm Michael Manrique and I'm one of the Habit Guys. We teach realtors prospecting habits so they can finally leave their frustrating 9-to-5 jobs. And welcome to the Realtor Habits Podcast, where agents don't need more stuff, they need better habits. Before we get into today's episode, I want to let you know this episode is brought to you by our free Top Producer Weekly Training Series. We all want to prospect consistently and be more organized. To do that, we need to think, do, and act like a top producers. Watch us prospect live and teach you every week for free how to get more listings, what to say over the phone to generate more sales, how to manage and expand your CRM, morning routines, productivity systems, and more. All you have to do is visit us at www.habitguys.com/training and learn all the skills top producers use in their day-to-day business. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is describing how to use your CRM every day. That's right. What we want to do is we want to learn how to make the usage of a CRM such as KV Core a habit. Now, I know a lot of real estate agents that understand the value of a CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Manager, right? So this is a database that you use to maintain the information for your database. And in turn, what you can create with that information are automations, are reminders and tasks for you to take action on so you stay on top of your business, right? So we all understand the value of a CRM, of a database, right? Today, in today's world, it's critical. If you do not have this tool, if you do not have this resource, well, then your business will suffer. Or at least you're not maximizing the potential of your business. So why is it so hard to start using a CRM like KV Core on a consistent basis, right? The reason behind it is that it has so many features, right? We are basically paralyzed by the amount of options and steps that we can take to utilize the CRM, and we typically just don't know where to start. And that's really what this comes down to, right? At the end of the day, for you to get more comfortable with your CRM, you have to, one, prioritize the functionality that you want to optimize, right? And then two, you need to create a routine so you can build the habit of using your CRM on a regular basis. So what I recommend is typically starting small. So you have this CRM, let's say it's KV Core, and you want to start maybe you want to transfer all your contacts from your cell phone to KV Core, but you have no idea how to do that. Well, they have a guide, right? They have a help center that you can reach out to. So what I would recommend is you start off by spending at least 5 minutes each day. Like, you don't have to do this all at once, right? But the idea is you spend 5 minutes over a week's time looking at that process and trying to implement as many steps as you can before you start feeling that friction of saying, oh, this is too big for me, I have no idea how to do it. And you basically paralyze yourself from asking more questions and thinking clearly so you can move forward again with the utilization of implementing your KV Core, right? Of implementing the transfer of your contacts from your cell phone to your database. But that's just one step. That's basically how a lot of us begin, right? You want to start off with a list of people so then you could utilize the CRM. But more importantly, you are going to be building relationships, speaking to people, connecting with people. And how do you document that? Well, that's where your CRM comes in handy, right? Obviously, you have apps that allow you to take your CRM with you so you're not stuck to a desktop computer. It's actually on your phone. So you could continue this regimen, this routine of utilizing your CRM no matter where you're at. Now, ideally, for the sake of using your CRM every day, what you want to do is you want to make it a habit, right? So how is a habit formed? A habit is formed by doing the same action at the same place at the same time, right? So what does that mean? Well, you got to determine, when am I going to be prospecting? And ideally, that time would be something that you would implement day after day after day, depending on your routine, right? So once you identify, okay, I am going to be prospecting at a specific time and at a specific place, and then you want to create a morning routine, right? Or a routine that gets you from starting your day to getting you to that specific moment in time. Now, if it's in the afternoon, there's a transition period where you know, okay, I'm leaving work or I'm picking up the kids. And after I do this activity, which is a habit currently, right? Which is something that occurs every single day that I want to prospect, well, then that is when my routine will commence, right? That's when I will build a process of actions that I will follow step by step by step to get me to the point where I pick up the phone, I make calls, and based on the information that I collect, I add to my CRM. Okay, so that's number one, right? So once we've identified the time that we're going to be prospecting consistently, day in and day out, then there's a few things that we can do to get us to actually take the action of using our CRM, right? If you've overcome the biggest hurdle for agents, which is just prospecting consistently, the next thing you want to do is you want to add this step, right? You want to pair, it's what we call habit pairing. You want to pair the last action when you speak to someone, right? And you want to make sure that your CRM is available. Now, some people like to do this after the call. Some people do this, it's a form of taking notes during the call, right? It's one of the things that you're going to have to feel comfortable with. Like, are you a person that walks around while you're prospecting because you feel more comfortable doing so? If that's the case, well, then it's going to be difficult for you to take notes while you're walking around, right? So ideally, what you would do is immediately, once you're done with the call, you're going to answer a list of questions that are pertinent for your CRM, right? Phone number, email, address, whatever information that you need, right, to gather. So, and then you could enter into your CRM. So, and then you could continue reaching out to them or set certain reminders or tasks. You're going to do so. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to pair, right, the action that happens consistently with the new habit of using your CRM, right? And I gave one example of walking around while you talk. As soon as you're done talking, well, you're going to go to your CRM and you're going to enter the information that's pertinent. On the flip side, if you're one of the people that just sits down in front of your computer, has your CRM open, and you're able to take notes, well, guess what? Every time you go to make a call, your CRM should be open to the page or the section that you know you're going to take down notes, you're going to fill out certain fields and populate in your CRM. Now, another thing you can do is that you can, in an effort to get you to take more action, right? After you prospect and use your CRM, is I want you to put yourself in a good state. It's what we call fun first, right? Ideally, what you want to do before you prospect is you make sure you're in a good mood. Now, what can you do? You could water your plants, you could pet your dog, you could go do some exercise, right? The idea is that you're in a high positive state. So, and then when that friction comes that we all feel when we do something that we're not used to doing, such as prospecting, right? That's difficult, and that doesn't necessarily give us that positive reinforcement because a lot of the calls end up with a no, maybe, I'll talk to you another time, or an answering machine. What we want to do is we want to put ourselves in that positive state so we keep pushing forward, okay? And as we keep pushing forward, we're going to make more calls. If we make more calls, ideally we're going to pair the calls with the utilization of our CRM, and now you could see the process and how this goes forward. Another thing that you can try to do is you can implement what we call find the right tribe. And what that entails is basically prospecting in a group and using your CRM with like-minded people, right? So like-minded people doesn't just mean that, we are realtors and we use KV Core, right? No, it's at a deeper level. Maybe you guys all are part of a running club. Maybe you guys all like Star Wars. Maybe you guys all have, pets in common and you guys connect in that manner. So you want to find the tribe that you connect with at a deeper level. So, and then regardless of the hurdles that are faced in your professional experience, you guys hold each other together and continue to motivate each other just by showing up, just by being around each other is going to allow you to continually utilize the CRM, utilize the ability to prospect and show up, and then implement the strategy that all of you are essentially using. All right. So now that we understand that what it takes to build a habit, right, which is showing up, right, doing the same thing at the same time at the same place, and now we understand that what we want to do is we want to either pair the habit with a habit that we have in place, the habit of starting to use a CRM with a habit that we have in place, and then implementing these other psychological pillars, right, of being in a more positive state before prospecting and before using your CRM, or using your tribe, right, the members that you're closest with, or you have deeper layers of meaning with them, right, deeper layers of connection with them. What you want to do now is you're going to notice at times that you're going to feel overwhelmed because, again, the CRM has so many tools and so many options available to you. So what you want to do is you want to break those down into smaller objectives. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to create an automation that's going to last a year, which means I'm going to have to create text messages and emails and videos and whatnot, I just want you to do one automation at a time. Maybe you just draft an email once a week, right? Maybe you just draft a text message once a week. Don't feel this pressure of knowing that, oh, I have to create this automation that's going to last for a year. Otherwise, my career is over. Otherwise, I can't prospect. So you want to break these systems within the CRM down into bite-sized actionable steps, and then you feel good when you complete them. And at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about here. For you to make anything a habit, for you to take a consistent action again and again and again, if it's not something that is required from you, such as like picking up your kids at school, it has to be rewarding in some way. That's why you do it again and again and again, right? So you have to find a way to add that sense of reward when you're done using your CRM, right? When you're done entering the monotonous notes or tedious information and populating certain fields, right? You might feel that way at first, right? So ultimately, we want to tie something, a sense of reward at the end of that action. And what's critical here, and this is so important, is that it's immediately after you enter the information into your CRM. What you want to occur over an extended period of time is your brain to associate the action of entering information into your CRM with a rewarding experience. And to do that, you have to do this rewarding experience time and time again immediately after you enter the information into your CRM. So what are some examples of rewarding experiences? It could be eating a jelly bean. I mentioned watering your plants, maybe going outside and shooting some hoops. Maybe it's petting your dog. You know, there's a multiple ways of determining a rewarding experience. You have to find the right one for yourself. It's got to be something that could be replicated, right? Maybe it's you get to play video games for 5 minutes. I don't know. Whatever it is that you find rewarding, that you enjoy doing, maybe it's reading a book, right? Your favorite novel or certain novels. That's what you have to implement right after. Okay? Now, ideally, you want it to be short, and then you get back to prospecting. You don't want it to take too much time away from you, but it's the process that you want to implement. So over time, your brain and your body begin to associate entering information into your CRM with a rewarding experience, and in turn, causing you to want to continue to use that CRM. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode. I hope you learned a lot. Remember, your time to succeed as a realtor is right now. To do that, you need to create better habits. We just spoke about the habits of building or utilizing your CRM on a more regular basis. Well, guess what? Building habits applies to all levels of your business, right? So to do that, join us at our free Top Producer weekly training series. All you have to do is visit us at www.habitguys.com/training and watch us prospect from beginning to the end of prospecting and understanding what to say, what to do, enter into your CRM, what to send to the potential prospect via social media, via text. You're going to see it all. You're going to understand it. You're going to know what you need to replicate in your business. So what are you waiting for? Join us at habitguys.com/training and watch us prospect live and teach you exactly what to do to become a top producing agent. All right. In closing, you're building habits right now, whether you like it or not. So wouldn't you rather be the architect of those habits rather than the victim of them? We think so. Let us help.